What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sportsmafia. Today we're going to be talking about the 7 NBA players that are most likely to be traded this offseason in 2020. First up, we have Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards. We all know about Bradley Beal's loyalty to Washington, D.C. Despite all of the Wizards' misfortune, the two-time All-Star continually reinforces his dedication to the capital city. "I respect the fact that they drafted me, that's first and foremost," Beal told Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports. "Just being in one spot for your whole career, having your jersey in the rafter one day, being that important to an organization, those were all things that drew me." After having advanced to the Eastern Conference semifinals in 3 of Beal's first 6 seasons, Washington has gone 50-83 in its last 2 campaigns. The recent string of misfortune has come at the hands of poor personal decisions and bad luck in the form of John Wall's Achilles injury. Regardless, Beal is a loser again and headed toward the lottery. "I don't like losing. I'm sorry," Beal told reporters, "especially winnable games. I don't like losing, so my frustration is going to build up for me until we start winning and changing our culture." New general manager Tommy Shepard could have provided help with the trade deadline acquisition, but largely stood pat and did nothing to help out Beal. So Beal will keep losing. Losing has come at a cost beyond just missing the playoffs, as the L's appear on Beal being left out of the 2020 All-Star game. Things won't get easier in the 2020-2021 season though. Even if Wall returns from his ruptured Achilles at 100%, his 4-year, $171 million contract makes building a contender around the duo problematic. The Wizards already have over $99 million dedicated to an estimated $116 million cap next season. While we appreciate the dedication, the NBA is a business. For Beal and the Wizards to thrive, a split is unavoidable. A team like the Denver Nuggets or Miami can hand out the pieces Washington needs to rebuild while giving Beal a platform for contention. Next up, we have Orlando Magic forward Aaron Gordon. The Aaron Gordon project has not worked out in Orlando, and it's time for a shakeup. John Hammond and Jeff Weltman deserve much credit for drafting Jonathan Isaac and adding Markelle Fultz in last season's deadline heist. Outside of that, their roster construction assemblage has been disappointing. The Magic could have added Trae Young had the draft unfolded the way many predicted it would have. Instead, they added Mo Bamba to a front court crowded with Jonathan Isaac, Nikola Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, Khem Birch, and now Al-Farouq Aminu. Soon, 2019 first-round pick Chuma Okeke will be added to the mix. Things don't get any easier going forward. After finishing the 2018-2019 season 22-9 with the league's 7th best net rating post-All-Star game, the Magic had high expectations. Instead, they find themselves 8 games back of 500 with 28 games left to play, and with plenty of questions to answer this summer. Evan Fournier has a player option this summer and should seek to get paid following his most productive and efficient season. With nearly $100 million guaranteed to the Magic's 2020-2021 payroll before factoring in his option or extension, the Magic will have to make a choice. The choice will be Fournier over Aaron Gordon. Next up, we have Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. It's put up or shut up time for this group. The process has led to this. Expectations are unmistakable after the Philadelphia 76ers backed up the Brinks truck this summer to near $500 million. Their front office made it rain nearly $460 million to lock up Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and free agent Al Horford. At 33-21 and slated as a 5th seed, they're off to a bumpy start. The 76ers trail the Milwaukee Bucks and Toronto Raptors by 13.5 and 7 games respectively. That's not good enough. The Joel Embiid-Ben Simmons marriage needs to make good on its hefty price tag. Next season, the 76ers have over $140 million in guaranteed salary, above the expected luxury tax threshold of $139 million. Moving off Embiid and embracing Simmons as the team's captain is the best option should the 76ers fall short again this postseason. Moving off Harris and Horford will be problematic due to their contracts. Embiid is the only one who can net a positive return while relieving the team of its cap woes. The New York Knicks and Atlanta Hawks have more than enough assets and space to trade for him. The Pelicans don't need Jrue Holiday. With Anthony Davis, Holiday at his ceiling was an elite complement and secondary creator. He was one of 3 players to average 21 points and 7.7 assists in 2018-2019. In 2019-2020, Holiday continued his dynamic style of play, breaking down opposing defenses in half-court sets as the NBA's second most efficient isolation scorer. The problem is that the Pelicans already have three blue-chip creators under 23 in Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson. Zion has quickly emerged as the Pelicans' alpha scorer and playmaker with a team-leading 29.3 usage rate. The other three have seen their production and usage dip in that time. The Pelicans don't need Holiday to manage the offense. They need an elite defender who can hit shots from the perimeter, and that's not Holiday's strength. Among those taking 4 or more three-point shots per game, Holiday ranks in the bottom 40 in the NBA. To further complicate matters, Holiday becomes extension eligible this summer, forcing Executive Vice President David Griffin to ask a difficult question. Should the Pelicans lock up Jrue Holiday for long term? It's in the best interest of both parties to move on. The Pelicans may already have their long-term answer in Josh Hart. Hart does all the little things that make a fit next to Ball, Ingram, and Zion ideal. Hart is 9th among shooting guards in ESPN's defensive real plus-minus, can defend positions 1 through 4, and has emerged as the team's second leading rebounder since Zion's debut in 7.9 rebounds per game. Hart's shooting percentage is over 10% better than Holiday's. It's time to move on. The Oklahoma City Thunder have been a feel-good NBA story since moving Paul George and Russell Westbrook in the summer. Chris Paul has been the fulcrum of that success. While playing the second lowest minutes total of his career, Paul is still averaging 17.2 points, 6.6 assists, and 5 rebounds in one of the most effective shooting seasons. The Thunder have also gone 23-13 in games that feature Paul in clutch situations, and they've had a 25.4 net rating with him on the floor in those spots. His 68.3 clutch true shooting percentage ranks 16th in the league. At nearly 35 years old, Paul should move to a contender to try to reach that elusive NBA Finals appearance he's been lacking. Matching salaries remains the roadblock. Chris Paul will earn $41.4 million in 2020-21. Few teams can approach that number with matching and disposable contracts that won't cripple OKC's books for years to come. Sign and trades can help this summer, and that's why the opening hours of free agency will be the most critical for Paul. Thunder general manager Sam Presti and Paul's camp will have to get creative. Still, it seems likely that they'll find a way to leave the negotiating table satisfied. This isn't an indictment of Myles Turner. Last year's leader in blocks per game was 13th in the NBA in ESPN's defensive real plus-minus while placing in the 86th percentile in three-point shooting. At 24 years old, Turner can anchor a team's front court for a long time. Domantas Sabonis has just been that good. The 2020 All-Star is 6th in rebounding and one of just 2 players averaging 18 points and 12-point rebounds per game. Most impressive has been his playmaking. Only 2 centers dish out more assists per game than Sabonis, who has emerged as the team's 1B playmaker to Malcolm Brogdon's 1A. It's probably not fair to judge Turner's performance this season after his methodical recovery from a sprained ankle, so we'll use last season as a guide. His impact at the 5 was substantial, chiefly on the defensive end, where the Pacers ranked in the 88th percentile, which is 43rd on the offensive end. Sabonis has fared well next to a traditional 5, and the Pacers have a 2.4 net rating with him at the 4. When he plays at the 5, Indiana's net rating soars to 7.7. Turner's upside and manageable salary makes him a logical candidate to be moved. The Pacers can attach an asset to him and bring back a wing who can complement Brogdon and Victor Oladipo and make this group a legitimate contender for the Eastern Conference in 2020-2021. Andrew Wiggins is just for salary matching purposes for the Golden State Warriors. Think about it. The Warriors don't have a cap space to assume a large salary. If they combine Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney, they can only approach a $10 million salary in return. With Wiggins, they can package those 2 enticing picks and target Karl Anthony Towns, Bradley Beal, Jrue Holiday, or Aaron Gordon. Wiggins can become a productive player, but his skill set doesn't fit with his franchise. Right now, he's an inefficient, high-usage player who ranks 441st in ESPN's defensive real plus-minus. With 3 years and $94.4 million remaining on his contract after the season, Wiggins will be difficult to move, but it's not impossible. He will not be a Warrior in the 2020-21 season. That's it for today's Sports Mafia video. Thank you for watching. Comment below who you think will be traded this NBA offseason. And if you like this video, please subscribe.